So today I want to talk about mindfulness because I feel like the whole concept of mindfulness has never been more important than it is in these times, especially as it relates to the pandemic and our personal safety and the safety of our families. You know, in my book, Holistic Wealth, I've spoken about not only the importance of mindfulness, but our decision making. And each individual makes 36,000 decisions each and every single day, every day of the year. And from the moment we get up in the morning to the moment we put our heads to sleep, we're making decisions. And each of those micro decisions affects our lives in untold ways. So you can imagine in this pandemic, from the moment we get up, we're making decisions that will affect our personal safety. How we get to work, for those essential workers who are still heading out to work in the mornings, how they get to work, their public transportation, the amount of people they have to interact with before they get off the bus, for instance, to get into the hospital where they're treating coronavirus patients, and how they protect themselves with the disease at work, in addition to interacting with their co-workers, their bosses, sanitization workers. Every single decision can have an impact on our health and our well-being. And so mindfulness comes into play because mindfulness to me means being firmly in the present and staying in the present moment. It doesn't mean that we're fixated on the past, or we're thinking about yesterday, or we're thinking about last year and the things that we regret, the road we were once on, and the path and what life used to be, or worrying about the future and thinking about uncertainty. What will happen to me tomorrow? How will I live? When will this pandemic end? It means being firmly aware of your present circumstances, those around you, how you're interacting with them, how they're interacting with you, in a way that not only protects yourself, but protects those around you. So mindfulness in these times is one of the core skills that I think we're going to have to use to get through this period. And whether it means being conscious every single moment of the day of the decisions we're making, whether we're going to the supermarket, picking up groceries to come home to then sanitize them in a way that we're not picking up anything with a virus, or the way that we're interacting with our kids, or as an essential worker, the way that we're interacting outside with others, will make the difference between whether we stay emotionally and physically healthy or not. So I just want to leave you with that bit about mindfulness, because I feel like when we engage in mindful planning, and whether that has to do with our finances as well, some people are facing so many challenges with their finances, with even just paying rent. You hear about rent strikes on social media and renters really having a warm time, and just being mindful there too of others, of that relationship that you might have with your landlord, and being mindful of communicating what your needs are, what you can handle now in terms of your rent payment on a regular basis. Keeping that line of communication open is also very important. And that's also one area or one example of how mindfulness works within the context of financial planning and handling your personal finances. It's just being mindful of those around you, of the decisions that you're making, and planning. And so mindful planning is important. Advertisers really play on the fact that we're being mindless when we're watching TV to get us to spend money. And so I want to implore you today that one of the core skills I think that will get us through adversity, through times of huge challenges, is that concept of mindfulness.